Hi all and welcome to our recording of the Columbia Valley region by Sean, Brittany, Jordan, Onaway, and me, Ashton.
So the roots of Washington's modern wine industry in the area can be traced back to the 20th century, as the first winery was founded by a group of University of Washington professors who turned their home wine-making operation into a commercial endeavor and founded Associated Vintners, later renamed Columbia Winery, and they focused on producing primary wines. So, talking about the region in general, it was established in 1984. Columbia Winery is the oldest premium winery in Washington. So, like I had mentioned before, when they had first started, they focused on primarily producing premium wines. And the fact that they're still around and the oldest in Washington kind of proves that they've accomplished that goal. The Columbia Valley itself begins at the Oregon border and stretches in a loose triangular shape to the Idaho border before moving north towards Lake Chelan. And as you can see in the chart below or next to it, it's kind of a visual representation of the borders of the Columbia Valley. So today, it has grown to be Washington's largest viticulture region, covering 8,748,949 acres in Washington, which actually represents a full third of Washington state's landmass. And that's kind of crazy to think about when how big Washington actually is, and a third of our state is a viticulture region. The Columbia Valley also contains 99% of the wine grapes grown in Washington. So whether you're getting wine from Yakima or a different area of Washington, the grapes that are used to produce that wine is probably from the Columbia Valley. And then lastly, with the exception of the Puget Sound and Columbia Gorge, all other growing regions in Washington are sub-appellations of Columbia Valley. So no matter where you are in Washington, besides the Puget Sound or Columbia Gorge, Columbia Valley has something to do with the wine you're drinking. They have their hand in the mix somehow.
The Columbia Valley AVA is located on the Columbia River Plateau, which is in mostly central and southern Washington. The AVA is multi-state and crosses into Oregon at the Columbia Gorge and Walla Walla Valley, and most recently the Lewis and Clark in Idaho. It's the largest AVA in Washington and contains 99% of the vineyards planted in the state. It also shares the same parallel as the Bordeaux and Burgundy regions of France, and the 46th and 47th parallel are characterized as having more sunlight hours in the growing season. The area is also a dry climate region, which can interfere with planting of vineyards due to irrigation systems, but vineyards are typically planted on south-facing slopes to increase sunlight interception and drainage. It is also home to 10 other sub-AVAs, some of the most well-known being the Walla Walla Valley, Horse Heaven Hills, which is next to the Yakima Valley, and Red Mountain in Benton County.
A lot of people think of Washington State as a very rainy and gloomy climate, but the eastern side of Washington actually gets around 300 days of sunshine each year, in comparison to Napa Valley, which only gets about 260 days a year of sunshine. The annual rainfall in the Columbia Valley averages from 6 to 8 inches, and most of the soil in the Columbia Valley is loess. Loess soil is from the Missoula floods, and this soil results in wines with increased aromas.
Currently, the varietals grown for the red varietals are Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and Syrah, and for the whites within the Columbia Valley are Riesling, Pinot Gris, and Sauvignon Blanc. The picture to the right of the slide is a picture from the Yakima River Valley, which is actually about 20 to 25 miles outside of the city of Yakima, heading towards the Oregon border.
According to the Washington Vineyard Acreage Report of 2017, there were 52.77 million vines in the Columbia Valley region. Of these vines, 1.6 million were unharvested, and that's due to them just being young vines. And those harvested produced 229,000 tons of grapes. The average price per ton that year being $1,206. So just to the growers alone, that was $276 million. Because the vast majority of grapes grown in Washington are from the Columbia Valley region, they are the biggest impact in the Washington wine industry. And in 2013, that economic impact was $4.8 billion. And since then, it's only been increasing. That's all. We hope you enjoyed our presentation and have a newfound affinity towards the Columbia Valley region.